For most, carp are the king of fish. Thousands scour our country's water in search of the elusive beasts.
Now we are back, a fishing adventure to the best lakes on the planet, and we have one mission: to catch monster carp.
Cross that water and into Europe. Fish of our dreams, Neil.
Are we still getting the ferry?
Yeah.
Where is it?
About an hour back that way.
What, we've driven past it?
Yeah.
What, we've got to get going then?
We should do, really.
What a waste of time. We've had another hour in bed.
Our new streamlined, all-fit-in-the-same van adventure starts here in the south of France, the jewel in Europe's carp fishing crown.
There needs to be a gulf between what I've caught and what you've caught for me to be happy this trip.
I know I've mentioned it, but to already have a colour PB's bigger than yours. just to come away from another
How
big
many
wild
60
lake.
pounders have you caught?
70 you caught, mate?
One.
Right,
How many
yeah.
have you caught?
Double that.
Yeah. Do you know what? We're giving it a big one. Al actually caught the biggest fish.
He did, yeah.
God rest his soul.
No.
Oh, does he?
No.
Oh.
Just don't want to be with us anymore.
Oh, right, okay. You're meant to organise this trip.
Why on earth am I driving? So
Yeah.
I'm chief navigator to make sure we
Right,
get it.
okay.
You know, well, meet Damien down there, because you don't
Oh,
drive.
Damien's involved.
Well, you don't drive all the way to the south of France without enlisting the help of a man that's done us a lot in the past.
No, to be fair, I'm pleased that Damien's involved. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
Where are we actually going?
We are going to Salagou.
Whee!
Lac de Salagou is a sprawling natural lake nestled in the hills west of Montpellier. It's a daunting 1,800 acres of wild water, surrounded by rusty red, Mars-like rugged terrain. And during heavy rains, the water has been known to turn red, prompting the name the Devil's Lake. There's truly nowhere quite like it.
Do you want to chuck a little wager on this whole thing?
Always.
Whoever catches the biggest fish, the other person has to treat that person to a nice slap-up meal at the end of the trip.
All right, I'm in.
Have you got your wallet here?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's
weird.
really just. I'm looking forward to having a bit of lobster.
The sought-after carp from this enormous lake grow to between 25 and 30 pound. But monsters of over 60 pound have been wrestled to the bank over the years. It's an incredibly challenging venue, but has some incredible surprises too. Speaking of which...
You won't be needing that, mate.
Why?
You can't actually put brollies up here, or bivvies.
Shut up.
No, you can't.
33 degrees, mate.
Well, you don't want it up then, do you? You want to be in the lovely breeze. Unless it rains, that can't go up.
You're not allowed to put it up at all?
No.
Great.
And the no rule wasn't going to be the only pan in the backside this trip.
Why I've got so much...
It's all your kit, mate.
It's not my kit.
Whose is it then?
That bag isn't mine. The bag there isn't mine. The buckets aren't mine. The boys aren't mine.
Well,
the
that isn't
swing
yours.
boys are mine.
That isn't yours.
The boulays are mine. Yeah, they are mine, but I don't want them
Right,
there.
shut your
I
mouth
don't want that in there. Spare spools to reel that I haven't got.
Well, why'd you pack it then?
Oh, I didn't pack it. You got it out
must
of the
have brought it
van.
with
I
you.
didn't.
Oh, no.
No, they stay in my van all the time.
Well, that's your fault then, isn't it?
What, for you getting them out of the van?
You asked me to unpack the van.
You're being really annoying already. Don't...
No, I'm going to put all these leads on top of you.
Don't let me go in there, chuck them in the van. No, actually, I will have them in the... Yeah, I will have them.
So with the most important boat loaded, there was no time to lose.
Right, cheers, Spoons. I'll see you over there.
You having a laugh?
Don't be too long, though, Spoons. It's getting dark.
I wish you'd left and not Al. I've spent 2 hours helping him do his boat, unload his van, help him load the boat, and he's just gone off into the distance like some bald idiot. Fuming.
After struggling on my own with the rest of the kit, I was almost too tired for revenge.
And then knocked me out.
That was shot in the wind.
Almost. Our starting point on the lake was on the southeast side. Despite the baking hot weather, the shallow water and thick weed around here means the water is oxygen-rich. The weed beds also provide sanctuary and a larder of natural food for the carp, and with the wind favouring our southeasterly position, we hoped it would push fish in this direction.
Hey! I think find ourselves a camp here somewhere. Not that we could put a bivvy up anyway.
Sorry.
Get the kit ready, wake up tomorrow, get the rods out. What are you saying?
Toot le fruit.
Come back, the boats are gone.
With sun about to set, it was important to get the boat secured and establish a base camp for the night. But then again, it had been a long day.
Yeah. Oh, nice cold one.
Cheers.
For such a kid.
What on earth are you doing in here?
The wind was so strong, the boats were rubbing together. So I thought I need to get away from that sound. So then I come up here, I heard the biggest animal I've ever heard knocking trees down as it was coming to. I swear to you. So I turned my light on, turned my light on, and it went. He just rummaged into the jungle behind. So then I was like that for the rest of the night, like thinking, well, I didn't feel safe until it got light, and then I had a couple of hours sleep. Gonna shut the kettle on.
Have I not told you?
Right.
You're not allowed stoves.
To help protect the beauty of this French jungle, local authorities enforce strict rules to dissuade campers and illegal fishing, so shelters and open flames were off the menu.
Which I was absolutely thrilled about. But without further ado, we needed to get set up, and seeing as Neil didn't secure the boats properly, we first needed to bow them out.
Never ending.
After eventually getting the boat seaworthy again, it was time for a classic monster carp swim-deciding showdown.
We haven't sorted sides to swim yet.
My pod's there, I'll go there.
And I'll go to the right-hand side as well. Wasn't that sweet?
Stop doing
Why,
that.
mate?
Just fist bump.
No, OK. No, I'll do it, I'll do it.
I don't know why I trust you sometimes.
Do you feel weird?
Yes, it does feel weird.
I like it.
Both sides of the swim offered fairly similar features, but me being on the right meant I was slightly closer to the beach and therefore fishing in shallower water. Whether this was an advantage or not, we didn't know, but we knew a man who did.
Hey, Damo is on the horizon.
Our local expert Damien is a legend around these parts, and few people know this lake better than him. He's a top-class angler whose advice was not to be ignored.
Look at that.
Here he is.
Hey.
How you doing, mate?
And you?
Really good. Good to see you.
Yeah, me too.
How you been?
Very good.
Catching loads of fish?
Yeah, many, always.
And you good?
How are you?
Good. So, yeah, good, mate. Good.
It looks like a really good spot to me. The nice shallow water looks perfect, and there's loads of weed beds out there as well, so...
Many fish on the wheel.
Yeah?
Yeah,
very many. I dive many, and I see many fish this week.
OK, you're diving with the snorkels?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you got some with you?
Yeah.
OK, I'll be doing that.
OK, no problem.
OK. All right, listen, I think you go and find the spots with Damien. I've got reels to spool up and stuff like that.
Yeah, me too, but I don't mind going out.
You can find out where we're fishing, and I'll nick the spots off you.
I'll get me life jacket, mate.
Local knowledge goes a long way, but technology definitely plays its part too. With this being such a busy public lake, the echo would be crucial.
Normally, you could just drop an H-block on area, and that could serve for the entirety of your trip. But when you've got holiday makers going up and down, lifting it, moving, they're very inquisitive, they want to know what it is, that is when this becomes a godsend, because I can simply put that information back in and drive straight to the spot. I'm going back to one now, drop one of these, and hopefully get a big one.
Our markers dropped on likely-looking fishy hotspots on the cleaner areas around the prominent weed beds, which is easier said than done with so many tourists out there.
I think I've got people just trying to pick my marker up as we speak.
Really?
That's handy.
Excusez-moi! On touche pas, s'il vous plaît! Merci!
I was just about to say the same thing.
It's okay.
With Damien on hand to scare away the holidaymakers, it was time to get the rig sorted. We'd both be using a helicopter setup, long hook links and slow sinking baits, hopefully to stop our rigs from getting buried in the soft mud that you'd usually find in between the weed beds we're targeting.
But we had another hurdle to jump, and that was with the Larry crayfish.
What they do love is carp anglers. They're soft, they all nip it off in a moment. So instead of using a boilie or something soft on there like maize or sweet corn, I've gone for tiger nuts. They're rock hard and they will stay out there until only a carp picks them up.
A small scattering of tiger nuts and boilies over our spots, and the hard work was almost finished.
First rod is in.
With all the rigs in position, the last thing to do was to make sure our line stayed as far away from the tourists as possible.
It's absolutely fun.
Always love it, a fish of a professional.
What we've got sitting right here are 3 bank sticks, one for each rod. And on the bank stick is a little ring, and connected to that ring is a little tiny bit of line and a heavy lead. And then the line goes from our rod tip all the way down to that heavy lead and keeps your line out of the way of all of the swimmers and the surfers and everything else that's out there. We are not used to having this amount of action in front of us. We never have to think about our lines being taken up by other humans swimming. It's not something we do in the UK much, but it's certainly going to work. Oh, how good does that feel?
I'll tell you in a minute.
Rods are out.
We're away.
The fish of our dreams is out there somewhere.
Do you know what means more to me, though?
What?
Just wondering what you're going to buy me in the restaurant.
After a mammoth journey, we were finally fishing and full of excitement for what our first night would bring.
That's a bite.
My left-hand rod, which is the rod closest to a massive bank of weed, pulled up tight, and I've got what feels like a carp on the end. The reason we've had to come out in the boat is because there's so much weed between me and the fish. We can't chance trying to reel it in from the bank. What have we got here?
It was our first proper night on Salagou, and Dovey was in.
What have we got here? Is that a catfish? No! No! That is not what we come for. I think you can probably tell by our reactions that we don't like catfish. They're big, they're slimy, and they're not... I think they bit me. I actually bit me.
It did not bite you.
It did bite me. Right, there we go. That is a big old Salagou catfish.
By most accounts, this is a monster, but for us, it's a nuisance and not what we came for.
Don't come towards me.
Go on, mate, you can go. Fishing has a tendency to do this to you. Brings you up, then disappoints you.
Not quite the start we wanted, but it ain't a bad start either, is it?
Nice to get a bite at least, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. And on top of that, you know, nice new camp. Clearly worked, because I didn't hear any of your imaginary creatures last night.
Wild boar state. I've got this boar mesh, though.
Oh,
Keeps the
right.
boar out.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What about the giraffes?
No, the giraffes, they're still there.
The hours around sunrise are particularly special for carp fishing. Something about that soft morning light and everything waking up seems to really spur the fish on to feed.
As this was our first morning with rods in the water, and as the extreme close-up of my eyes suggest, anticipation was through the roof.
It was no
That
joke.
was a joke.
Right, jump in the front. If it's carp, it's a serious one. Right, leave the engine now.
Yeah,
we'll
I
just...
touched it.
Oh, don't do that. Be a carp. It's a carp. Here he is. He's not tiny. Get in there. Yes, Luna! Yes!
Get in!
Done it! Yes! That is 29 pounds, 14 ounces. Oh! Just under 30 pounds. Does it matter, though?
Not a jot.
Lake Salagou is famous for massive common carp, and although this isn't massive, it is a common and probably one of the babies of the very famous fish here. This is what it's all about. 2,000 acres behind us. What a carp that is, and what a way to start.
It's proper, mate.
You do some pictures for us?
Of course I can. Gladly.
Do you know how to use a camera, yeah?
Oh, give it a rest.
It was the first carp of the trip and a huge weight off my shoulders. It's just a shame it did put a huge weight on Neil's shoulders.
Carp tend to travel in small groups, so one bite on these massive waters can often lead to another. But hours passed without a bleep. So rather than sitting round getting bored, we took a leaf out of Damien's book and did some reconnaissance.
Snorkeling isn't exactly what you'd associate carp fishing in the UK, but seeing the spots like this is unmatched. And what we found out is the lake bed is a lot harder and cleaner than we first thought. We've been using longer hook links to account for a much softer bottom, but seeing as our rigs aren't at risk of being buried in silt or mud, we should be using much shorter hook links that can hook carp quicker. We needed a change up.
They might have been getting away with it a little bit. Might have to have a little rig tweak.
Bit of a rig tweak, definitely. Yeah. There's hardly any mate down there left either. They've been in, and we haven't caught them.
Little rascals.
Back on dry land, we made the tweaks and got them out there on the spots. Weather-wise, this flat, calm afternoon wasn't ideal either, as still water tends to make the fish more static. What we really needed was wind to stir things up, and tomorrow we were going to get it.
We have got 13 mile an hour, so nearly 20 kilometres straight into our face. So it's going to be the polar opposite to now, but very, very good for the fishing.
It's a big old pick like this. That has got to bring them in, isn't it?
So we need to make sure everything's done, the bait's out, the rods are done, the rigs are right, because tomorrow is the day.
The hot, calm conditions continued to keep the carp away all day, so we waited for the cooler temperatures at nightfall to see if our rig tweaks would make a difference.
Attached to my first bite, hopefully a carp. We are getting close, but I've not felt any sort of movement for quite a while. If there's a fish on, he's got to appear pretty soon.
There he is.
There he is, he's a carp as well. Yes, he didn't look very small either.
No, he didn't.
Come on, mate, come on. Dovey, I've never felt this nervous. Come on, come on.
Yes! That was the
That is the best bit of netting I've ever seen.
You got one, Neil.
Yes!
Look at him. Well done, mate.
I don't even mind it this time.
Yes! The old moon's out tonight as well, Neil.
Right, he's unhooked.
£29 and 14 ounces was the weight to beat. This one could knock Dubby off his perch. I mean carp.
Oh, that's so annoying. That's 28.5 pounds.
Yes! Pound and a half of a nice free meal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks, old boy, for being so slim.
Look at that, geese.
You're facing that one. I know we've caught some big fish, but I've just got a feeling there's a monster out there for us.
Whatever we catch is special, but I hope you're right. I'd love to see one of the real big ones on the bank.
Well, it's all primed out there, mate. Good night.
Yeah, I'm going to get a bit of sleep.
Hopefully I'll see you in the night.
I'm so sorry, I ain't got a how to turn his head towards you.
What time are you setting the alarm for, Spoons?
It's already set for 6:30.
You do not need it set for 6:30.
But I like being awake early.
It gets light at 6:30. You're just going to wake up anyway.
Well, you don't have to wake up, do you?
I'm like 2 metres from you. Of course I'm going to wake up.
You wanted to make
I'll
a
probably
joint
be
cab.
awake before that anyway.
You're not making me do my trip, and you want me to do the trip.
Lucky for Neil, it wasn't his alarm clock that woke us up.
Nice to have a fish on, to be honest with you, Neil.
Hey!
Is he all right?
Can't tell, I'm rubbish at it. £30.14.
£30.14,
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Well done, mate. That is lovely.
Why have you glasses on?
I have had genuinely no idea that I've got them on. Just to get some suntan lotion on.
Even though it was only a pound heavier than my first, it was the new fish to beat. And as I safely retained it for a closer look in the morning...
That's a couple of bites in very quick succession. First time that's happened. I want to see a big old mirror pop up. God, he's all of a sudden absolutely charging. Yes! Whew.
It was easily over £30, but as daylight was just around the corner, I wanted to wait to find out so I could properly see the look on Dubby's face.